Hello, it's another video of me trying to work on a vintage cabinet that I rescued from the garbage, or what would have been probably in the garbage. What I had done is filled, if you watch the other videos, I'd gone ahead and filled this with Bondo, and then give it a general, sanding, and then put some spot putty in. But because you're using a couple different materials, you start getting the brown from the wood, the color of the spot putty, the color of the Bondo, and it's too much going on as far as colors for your eye to see high and low spots. And so it's a little bit easier for me, I found, to just go ahead and, once I've got my general filling done, to go ahead and spray it with primer. One that helps me, again, see the high and low spots. As you can see, I'm not all that great at putting on the Bondo and everything, but that can all be sanded later, smooth. The idea is just to fill the big holes right now and kind of start getting it level and smoothed out. Also, the primer on top of it helps you see when you're sanding it. Let me put this light up here again, but helps you see where you're starting to wear through. If you don't spray it with primer, or at least I found, what happens is when you're working on one spot, you'll tend to start sanding another spot that was good, and then that'll be a little low. So the primer kind of helps you see, if I want to work on this right here, I can go ahead and sand that and kind of keep the sanding to this area. And if I notice that I'm starting to wear through here, I'll stop and I'll go ahead and spray it again. The primer kind of adds a coat, like a layer between the good areas and the areas that you're working on. It just helps me even it out. And actually, you can actually use it to if you're trying to do a really good job glossy, you actually use primer to help you, or you can, to help you smooth out the finish. But for this, we don't really have to worry about that too much. If you remember the last time, you can see the edge here now that I've kind of rounded over, filled in a little bit with spot putty. And if you feel it, you can still feel high and low spots. But for what I'm going to do, I'll probably put a little more spot putty here or there. But for the finish I'm going to put on it, it really won't make a difference. You won't even notice, even if it's a little rough, especially being at the bottom. But I'll go ahead and fill it to some degree. And what I'll do is, again, I'll start, continue working. You can see little areas there. If somebody who's really good and uses Bondo all the time, will probably be able to hit this once or twice and just get a perfect edge on it. But I got to use Bondo and spot putty and a lot of sanding. But pretty much that's it. I try to keep, especially sanding, I try not to let it all build up too much. So I tend to kind of dust it off a little, and then also I remember to try to keep everything covered that I can. And this is where in the front, where the cloth for the speakers and everything is. So I try to block a little bit of that off, although it's not going to be perfect. But at least it saves me from vacuuming out, cleaning it a lot. And as you can see, what I'm going to do today, as you can see, this is pretty close. But anyway, I'll go ahead and add some more spot putty. Anyway, it's just a little bit at a time. I should have did a video showing before I sprayed it with primer. But if you ever do anything like this, you will see what I'm talking about. There's just too many colors going on, and it gets hard to see. I'm not wet sanding it, so it gets hard to tell sometimes what's going on. And just the flats, the one color surface makes it a lot easier. So I just, as I'm working on other projects, I just come in and do a little filling here and there, and that's about it. All right, I'll make another video as I progress, and hopefully I'll have this bottom end done. I've got to kind of level the front and the back out. There is a little low spot on each side, so I'll go ahead and use a level and level that out. Alrighty, I will make another video and see if I can't show you the little bit of progress. But before I stop, let me show you, if I can, what I'm talking about. If you see, when I hold this along the edge, and you can see little dips and everything, and now you can see how it's, you know, that end is going down, and also now you can see my really bad Bondo work, but in the end it all ends up looking good. Okay, so once I level out the front and the back on both sides, and I'll need a little more Bondo and a little more spot putty, but eventually when I'm done, you'll see it'll look halfway decent. I've done this before. So, all right, thank you.